Yo, what's poppin', guys? Sizzle here, and today we're taking a look at the R8 Revolver. So first off, we have the stock skin, which, yeah, it's a revolver. Nice, shiny metal revolver. Probably the cleanest stock skin in the game, maybe other than the AWP, because, like, you can't see a lot of wear or damage to this thing at all, and it's just, yeah, it's pretty much just a shiny metal revolver. That's all there is to it. Pretty solid, probably a C tier. Stock weapon, one of the better stock weapons out there, just because it's just kind of clean. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing great with it, but there's definitely nothing wrong with it. Anyway, next up we have our first skin, the R8 Bone Mask, which is yeah, it's a camo skin. It's a brighter camo skin, I guess, but it has this horrible like streak of green just like here and here, and nowhere else other than maybe like the tip of the gun. It looks bad. I'm sorry. Like, this is a camo skin just through and through, and I don't like camo skins. So you're gonna hear that a lot in this series if you haven't already. I just do not like camo skins. It's that simple. It's a solid D tier for that. Then we have the R8 Canal Spray, which has a similar like design as the Bone Mask, but the color scheme makes it almost not seem like a camo skin. That being said, the colors used here are kind of bland. They're definitely unique. Like, I don't think I've seen this on... I guess they're not really that unique. I've actually seen this on a lot of skins, but... I don't know. It's not a bad color scheme, but honestly, I prefer the look of stock to this. Like, just on visuals alone. The stock looks better than this, but this definitely isn't a bad option. It's just nothing crazy. I'm just gonna say it's like a low C tier. Because, you know, that makes sense. Anyway, next up we have the R8 Knight, which is basically the same thing as that last skin, but cleaner and darker. I actually do like the look of this one though, because it's a lot, instead of having a pattern, it's just a really solid color. And I kind of like the darker color. There's a lot of guys the people I guess, who like the darker color scheme on weapons, and I'm one of them. I think this looks kind of clean. Not like insanely clean, not like a B tier or anything. But honestly, with how few revolver skins there are and how many of them kind of already look bad, I might move it up to D tier, B tier later. But for now, it's a solid C tier. It's like maybe debatably better than stock, but otherwise, I could see it both ways, right? If you like darker skins, this is better than stock, like barely. If you don't like darker skins, then just stick with stock. It's better. It's really that simple. Then we have the last consumer grade one, which is the R8 Desert Brush. Which, yeah, it's a camo skin, but it is really bright. Like, it's noticeably different than every other skin we've had so far here, and it's noticeably different from stock. And honestly, even though it is a camo skin, with the handle being one solid color, and just the sheer abundance of, like, almost like this color of, like, white, if you will, I actually do kind of like how bright this one is, and how much it actually looks better than most camo skins for me, and I can't explain why, because like this exact pattern could be applied to something else and it would not look even remotely as good. But for some reason, for me, this is just like a really nice, bright skin, and I actually do kind of like it a little bit, so I'm going to put in B tier. Anyway, next up we have the R8 Nitro, one of two industrial grade ones. Which, yeah, it's trying what I liked about that R8 Knight, and it kind of has the same top, honestly, but the orange handle and like tip here stick out a lot more, which I actually find to be a negative here. I can see why some people might actually like that though, because it kind of like draws attention, like look at me, my skin's different, right? But I think it loses some of the simplicity that like the Knight and that other skin had, with their color schemes being like a nice solid dark finish across the whole weapon. And honestly, I think this color of orange and gray do not go together that well, at least here. So I'm gonna actually put this one as a low C tier. Probably still better than the thing at the bottom of C tier, but not really that much better. Anyway, next up we have the only other industrial grade R8 at the moment, the R8 Phoenix Marker. Yeah, I don't know what this design is. The color scheme is a color of blue, but it's like covered in, I guess, graffiti. it actually kind of looks bad. Like, honestly, if it was just like a solid color of light blue, I know that'd be really bland and looking like about 80 other skins here, but I would actually just really like it because it's a nice color of blue. But the way they have this graffiti and stuff just plastered on it, but in a way that you can't really tell what anything is, other than on the back of the weapon you can kind of read XIN there. It just doesn't work, right? It doesn't look that nice. It looks like a mess. It honestly looks more like a camo skin, but unlike a camo skin where at least, you know, it's like based off the real life camo, like, of a weapon or whatever. This is based off of nothing. Like, this just doesn't look good, has no basis in reality. I don't really see how anyone would really like this over something like the Knight or just the stock Revolver or whatever. So for me, this one's actually an F tier. I think the graffiti, like, camo skin just does not work here. There's nothing, no part of the graffiti is actually shown, really. Like, you can't tell what half of this is. And the parts that you can tell make, like, no sense and just kind of exist. And the colors, I mean, the colors go together, but not in this way. They look really bad here. Yeah, that's about all there is to say about it. Then we have the pretty recent one in the R8 Blaze. I think I actually have one of these. And it's because I like it. I mean, the Blaze looks amazing on the Deagle, and it looks okay here. Definitely doesn't look amazing, don't get me wrong. This looks like a bad, like, spray paint job, kinda, version of the actual Blaze, but it still looks kinda clean. I mean, you just have fire coming off the front of the gun, and the rest of it's just a solid color of black. Either showing off, like, the smoke, or just kinda drawing your attention to the Blaze. I think the difference is here that the bottom part here, for some reason, isn't textured the same yellow I think it should be, just to kind of be consistent. And it's just like that. Like, it seems to, like, almost cut off. I know you're never going to see this in game. You don't see the front of your weapon unless you're running, like, custom animations or something. But just the inconsistency of this camo kind of makes this Blaze a lot less worse than the Deagle Blaze, where it's just consistently a fire coming off, like, the front of the Deagle that goes backward in the weapon. I think that's why that skin is so well liked. On this one, it's okay. I mean, in game, it looks mostly fine. Like, you can still see what it's going for. But, it's just not as clean as the one on the Deagle, I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't work as well. I think it's because of that inconsistency, where it kind of, you know, it's not textured here, it is textured here. It kind of, like, has an indent here, where it's kind of hard. I know it goes together, like, it's clearly lined up here, but it feels wrong. I mean, especially seeing it like this doesn't line up at all anymore, and it just looks kind of off. I think it just doesn't fit the R8 as well as it fits the Deagle, where it's one simple thing kind of plastered on. This one kind of is like has indents and everything, but that being said, it's still a simple skin that still looks really clean. It's kind of hard not to put this in A tier, even with all its flaws, because it's just, I mean, it's clean. You know, you got fire coming out of the front of your weapons, like, your bullets just shooting like fire. I don't fucking know. I don't know how to explain why this is so clean, but I think most people can agree with me that it just is. Right. Then we have the R8 Crimson Web. Probably one of the most unique R8 skins, even though the Crimson Web's in like a million other skins in CS already. It actually looks kind of clean here. Yet again, for some reason, they're not coloring this bottom part here. Like, they only color this little knob here, which I don't understand. But here they actually do texture everything. Right? And it honestly just looks kind of nice. Like, you could tell this is noticeably different from every other skin, and it looks nice. I mean, it's got a nice color of red, not as nice as like a candy apple, but just about like as close as you can get to the candy apple without being the candy apple. And then, you know, you have a web pattern, which it doesn't like add a lot to the skin, but unlike a lot of the other Crimson Web skins, I feel like this actually doesn't take anything away from the skin. Like, it still looks pretty fine. I think a candy apple would honestly be better than this, but this is still really clean and probably one of the better R8 skins out there. I think it's just really clean. There's not really a lot of negatives I can say about it, and there are some positives. So for me, with how bad the R8 skins have been so far, it's gonna be an S tier for now. Maybe I'll swap it lower if we find some better skins later, but as of right now, this is like hands down the best skin I've seen. Then we have the R8 Grip, which is like the HD version of the stock R8. Like, that's pretty much all it is. It just has like a bunch of like stupidly fine details all across the weapon. You'll notice this is definitely different than stock, but I honestly can't say that it's better. I actually do like the simplicity of the nice silver shine of the stock R8 that, you know, has some degree of like realism to it. And I understand, like, this is supposed to be Ultra HD and supposed to be more realistic, but I think it doesn't look as great. I can see why people would like this, though. I'm just not one of those people. So for me, this is just, like, right below stock. Because it's honestly, it's really close to stock. I mean, it's basically just the HD, like, more detailed version of stock. But I think the simplicity of the stock R8 just looks better. That's pretty much all there is to it. Anyway, then we have the R8 Survivalist, which is just, it's a shit tier camo skin with a really cool looking handle. I think this handle looks amazing. I'm not even gonna lie, this is like actually probably the coolest handle out of all the R8 skins. It's gonna be kind of hard to beat. I really love how this looks. But the main skin looks fucking horrible, and that's what you see all game. Like, you're never gonna see this sick handle. You're just gonna see this dark green with light green stripes across it, and it doesn't look really that great. It is definitely nicer for that handle than the other camo skin we have, but it's still a camo skin, and I don't really like this. Kind of unfortunate, because I do, like I said, I really do like this handle. It's really cool. Anyway, then we have the R8 Memento, which, it's trying to be yet another HD R8, which is kind of insane, because there's only 20 skins, and 2 of them are just trying to be an HD version of stock. Honestly, I'm gonna have to look back at the grip and see which one of these I like more. Let me see the difference. Like, the top part looks identical, the only difference seems to be the grip. And I think this one loses out. I understand this one's actually more realistic, and that something with this texture could actually exist in real life. Like, this might have actually been based off a real weapon versus the grip. Like, I'm not sure if this actually exists in real life. However, in the game of CS, when you're looking at these skins without that added context, I honestly would, if I had to choose, I would go with the grip, because it's more, like, crazy, you know, there's more HD, like, texturing to, like, the grip and everything, versus this being kind of more realistic. I don't know why it's not loading all of a sudden. Great. Yeah, versus this just seeing in, like almost like, this is almost like a realistic R8, I think. I feel like I could totally see this texturing on someone's actual real-life gun. I actually personally like this one more, but honestly, I would probably stick to stock over this, depending on the price. I mean, right now it's like 60 to 80 cents, so I probably would still use this, but if this was ever expensive, it's not that much better than stock. So yeah, it is better than stock, though. I actually think this is a more realistic looking revolver than the stock revolver. That's about it. And yeah, I don't see myself using it personally. Then we have the R8 Bone Forge, which is interesting. Not really sure what I'm looking at here, to be honest. The handle seems interesting. I think that's supposed to be a skull. That kind of is cool. And then you got some really interesting design here. I think this is supposed to be like a just old revolver. And it kind of pulls it off really well. I mean, these scratch marks here look really, really clean. The just general rust and everything looks clean. Like, the design looks kind of nice, like the gridded pattern and everything. This kind of looks really clean. I can't explain why. I just really do like how this looks. It's like a rust coat, but someone spent more than 2 minutes making it. So it actually just looks like a really, really heavily used revolver. And for that, I think it's actually a solid A tier. Actually, I'm gonna redo some of this. I kind of lied. I like that other revolver a lot. Probably a solid B tier for me. The one that looked like a more realistic revolver. It did really look clean. I'm kind of going back on that. Let me go over it one more time. I do like. I mean, the color of this handle is something I've seen, so I know this is like a real handle that people actually use. And then the top here looks like it could really exist on a weapon. This just looks like a real. Like a more real revolver, and stock doesn't really give off the full vibe of a realistic revolver. It gives off like fresh out of the factory type revolver, and this gives off the vibe of like, this is a revolver someone has used. This is something someone carries on them in real life and stuff. I think it looks kind of clean for that. Anyway, next up we have the R8 Junkyard, which interesting. It's got like a banana sticker, CSGO sticker. Like this is like the type of sticker you see like on a banana. But it has a CSGO logo, and it's only on one side. And then it's got just, I don't know, it's got an alright color scheme. of red and blue. Not as realistic. I think it was trying to go for a realistic vibe with this like nice wooden handle. But it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look particularly amazing, but it definitely doesn't look bad. You can see Legend, King, the Crown. I think those are kind of actually nice details. Maybe it goes well with the sticker. I don't actually know where the sticker's going here. You're still alive. You can do it, and then probably. And I guess that'll actually come down as you reload or like shoot your shots, which I think that's actually a really cool detail. If I hadn't seen that, I probably wouldn't think this is cool. I think this is kind of like a cool skin. Like I like how they have a detail where it moves with the barrel. Like as you shoot your shots, it'll rotate around, and you'll see, you can do it with 2 bullets left, and then probably on the last one, I think. And I think that's really cool detail. And then, just, I don't know. It's got a lot, like, it's not particularly amazing. There's not a lot going for it. Hello. Because, like, if you ever have seen an R8 video, someone will normally, like, walk up to someone and make that little noise. Like, if you don't fully shoot the R8, it makes, like, almost a cricket noise. And that will get anyone to turn around, and then imagine you're looking like this, and you just see hello, and you just get fucking shot. I think that's actually really cool. I think this is just it's a really basic skin with a lot of really cool details that I really like. I might actually pick this one up. I just really I think it's pretty unique, and I kind of like it. Kind of a weird exception to the rule. Like, the skin itself is not that amazing, but I love all the little details they have on here. I think they add a lot to it. And honestly, I've been changing my opinion on this skin a lot, but I'm moving the realistic looking Revolver to A tier and the boned one to B tier, because it's cool, but no, I'll keep them both in A tier. I think they're kind of cool. I think they deserve to both be up there. Anyway, then we have the R8 Reboot, which it's supposed to be like a futuristic revolver, and it kind of is. They have I don't know if this is. It's actually kind of trippy right here. You guys can see like the red line. It almost looks like there's like a laser coming out of the bullets, which I think that's kind of really cool, but that's something you're never gonna see unless you're inspecting the weapon. But yeah, it's just a really clean looking futuristic revolver. A lot of the futuristic looking guns in this game look horrible because they like do too much, but this one has like a degree of simplicity to it, and just like attention to detail, like with the lasers on these bullets that you'll never see. That I think I kind of appreciate. I really like what they got going on here. Yeah. I mean, it's a solid B tier. I'm not the biggest fan of the futuristic looking guns, because CS isn't exactly a futuristic looking game, so it doesn't fit the game that well. But I think that's also a strength of a lot of these weapons, is that they kind of look out of place. So I can see a lot of people using this one. It's a solid B tier. Then we have the R8 Crazy 8. Which is from the most recent case, which is interesting. I mean, yeah, that's about all there is to it. It's like if the R8 Blaze was good, like if it actually, you can see like this almost like looks like a flame, kinda, if you look at it the wrong way. Like a flame coming out the front of the gun, except it's purple, which that's kind of cool. And then it's got, the big 8 here that you're never gonna see for, Crazy 8, that's the whole name of the skin. And then it just has a bunch of random elements, like, X, Skull X, and, like, some arrows saying, like, shoot forward, I guess? I don't really know. It's not particularly crazy, but I think this basically shows the potential of the Blaze. I think the Blaze looked like this main front design without all this random extra stuff that I think just doesn't add to the weapon. Except the 8. Obviously, the 8 looks really clean. I guess it would probably look weird if it wasn't there, like, having this X and skull and stuff, but this doesn't look particularly amazing, I'm gonna be honest. It's definitely not particularly bad, but I think it's just like this is, if the Blaze was good, it would look more like this. Except, I like the color of flame more than purple, and this isn't exactly a flame, but it kind of shows the potential. What happens when you color this bottom part here and actually color the rest of the weapon properly. It shows the R8 Blaze could have been even better, which is nuts. Anyway, next up, we have the R8 Amber Fade. Yeah, it's the usual copper to green copper look. I just think it, like, with how shiny the stock revolver is, this really just pales in comparison. And I think the copper to green copper look is horrible, and I hate how it's on, like, every weapon. I just hate this thing, honestly. I'm coming to really hate the Amber Fade skin. I'm just putting it high D tier. I would never use this personally. I don't know why, I just don't like how it looks. It's that simple. Then we have the R8 Llama Cannon, which is interesting. You know, you got a llama in the middle here, and then a llama standing on the other side, which is kind of cool attention to detail. And otherwise, I mean, it's got like a really fancy handle and design, but like I was saying with a lot of the other skins, I could actually see this kind of existing without the llama texture, obviously, because it's like too clean to exist in real life. But the rest of this I could totally see on a Revolver. And yeah, I mean, it's just a solid blue, like nice color of dark blue on the top, and then a nice like tan handle. And then a cool llama design on it, I guess. Definitely not bad, but nothing too crazy. I think it's just a solid B tier. It's probably the best looking of like the dark blue tops. Like it's just a better version of the Knight, pretty much. And it has a llama on it too, because yeah, it has a skin name to hold up, I guess. Anyway, then we have the R8 Skull Crusher, which is reminds me of that Mac 10 skin we saw, even though it's nothing like it. It really looks like that yellow Mac 10 skin with like the tiger, whatever. And that, I mean, it's kind of cool. I like how there's flames coming off of like this here, but the rest of the skin doesn't really look like it would have flames. Especially this side, this just looks, I mean, I'm sorry, this looks like it was coming straight out of a dumpster, other than like the flame texture. Although it is kind of cool how the flames are inverted, because I guess maybe it gets inverted when it comes to this side of the weapon, like as the cylinder spins, which I think is kind of cool. Is it? No, it's not inverted. I'm on something else, bro. What the hell? I don't know what I was saying there, but okay. I guess it has this cool little like dead guy thing by the reload button, kind of, you know, showing you that if you are reloading this weapon, you're probably dead. Because it takes so long. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's like an orange, I don't know, someone was spray painting something with orange and they accidentally got some of it on this weapon, and then they realized they messed up, so they added some cool looking flames to the little spin chamber. I don't really like this that much, honestly. I understand what they were going for, but I don't think they hit it that hard. I'm just gonna put it like above the Nitro, because it's kind of just a better version than Nitro, I guess, and the Nitro's not particularly good. Anyway, then we have our only red skin for the R8, which is the R8 Fade, which doesn't look good on this weapon. I don't like the Fade is supposed to be pink, gold, and purple, and then there's like black on this skin. That just does not look good. I'm sorry. Maybe with better Fade you get the purple per the usual. But yeah, like unlike a lot of some of the other Fade weapons, like the Op Fade, the Fade is actually on the part of the weapon that you'll see throughout the whole game. So I mean, it's kind of clean, but honestly, I don't like the Fade that much. Like here, at least this specific Fade, it doesn't look that great. Kind of reminds me of what the Amber Fade is going on, but like with a slightly better color scheme. Not that much better though. I'm probably gonna put it under that orange spray paint thing we just saw, and definitely under stock. I don't think I'm gonna be using the Fade for this weapon anytime soon. But yeah. That's it. That's all the other 8 skins. I know this one was a bit of a mess, and I kept moving stuff around every 5 minutes, but, you know, I do record these live, even if some people have said it doesn't seem like they're live. They all are. I don't edit other than editing and music sometimes. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I definitely did enjoy looking at some of these skins, and I think I found myself a new R8 skin to use after looking at these. But, yeah, see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed, and have a nice day.